What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had, or I should say yesterday, maybe even 2 days ago at this point, we had a game against the Denver Nuggets in preseason, and unfortunately, it was easily the worst preseason game that we've had thus far. We got absolutely beat down in this game. It was a very boring game to watch. I would not recommend you go back and watch it if you haven't already. And with that being said, with one more preseason game to go against the Timberwolves, I expect much better from this Chicago Bulls team. Can they deliver? Or they underachieve? But before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more from me, feel free to drop a like, follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know what you guys thought about this game against Denver. Is it as bad as I'm making it out to be? Or do you think at the end of the day, well, look, this team is where it is. There's some good, there's some bad. You have to take the good with the bad. So we saw a lot of good in preseason, and then we see some bad things. I'm trying not to overreact. I don't want to make this a big rage fest or anything like that, especially in preseason. There's no need. But it wasn't great. We lost this game 124 to 117. And you might be asking me, Aiden, that's a very respectable scoreline. What are you talking about? It looks like both teams brought their absolute best in this game. Yeah, no. Look, the fourth quarter was unbelievable from the Bulls, but again, this was kind of already in garbage time. We outscored them by 14 points, 34 points to the Bulls, and Denver scored 20. But everywhere else, we got absolutely destroyed in this game. We got destroyed in every department. We got destroyed in the paint. We got destroyed out in the perimeter. We got destroyed physicality-wise, and Denver did a great job in every area. They showed true depth, which is one thing that they very much lacked in the last season. They didn't have much depth, whether it's from the center position or the guard position. This season looks like they got a little bit more depth into their team and a lot of improvements. I mean, Aaron Gordon was out here making threes off of screens. That's unheard of. Yet here he is doing it. He's improved in that area. And yeah, Denver's just a team that is always going to be a big problem. Now, we usually actually play relatively decent against Denver more times than not. Maybe, again, this is a new look Chicago Bulls team. It's not like we had the team with Zach LaVine and that sort of area. We always have a large fan base that comes out from Denver, which is very positive to see. But yeah, this was definitely a beatdown in every single department. I want to say this. The first thing I want to take away is that the game felt boring. And yeah, it's because we were down a lot, but we fouled a lot in this game. We fouled so many times. The game was very stop and start, and even Denver were fouling a lot, but nowhere near as much as us. We allowed Denver to shoot 41 free throws in this game. 41 free throws. 41 free throws. I don't care if that's preseason. I don't care if that's in a YMCA gym, never to be seen again in the public eye. 41 free throws is an embarrassing amount to give to a team. So again, I'm all for playing physical. I think we should be doing that. But we also have to play the right way defensively. We shouldn't be physical just because, let's just say, we're getting beat off the dribble or the center gets beat off the dribble and we're just trying to push him away and stuff of that nature, you know? Physicality matters. It definitely does. And I encourage the Bulls, continue to play physical, but you also have to play smart defense as well. Not only are we not playing smart defense, our physicality, because of how dumb our defensive capabilities were in this game, led to the amount of free throws that we gave. A lot of it was because we were beat off the dribble and we couldn't recover in time. So we're forced to foul. We're forced to be that physical team in the wrong way. We don't need to be a bruising team because we can't actually play defense. We need to show skill and physicality at the same time. The best teams know how to play without fouling, but also know how to give it to you physicality-wise and make you think twice when coming into the paint, or make you think twice when trying to set a screen or trying to go over a screen or everything in between. We need the balance. We saw good things against the Cavs. We saw great physicality. We saw some really smart defense. And maybe the Cavs isn't the best example because sometimes they are very isolation heavy from time to time. But teams like Denver and teams like Milwaukee that did spread the floor very well, knocked down a good amount of threes, and beat us in multiple ways, maybe that is where our kryptonite is, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to find a way to stop those types of teams. And the fact is, Cleveland is better than probably both of those teams we just faced, realistically, but yet it's all about different matchups, and this matchup haunted us very much. In terms of the positives we could take away from this game, look, there were some positives. Some players did have some good games here. I want to start off with Matas Buzelis. Matas Buzelis in this game scored 20 points, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds in this game. And again, this is a player last season that I think averaged around 13 points. And easily he's taken a big leap in terms of the points category. Rebounding wise, I'd like to see more, but it is what it is. I think it's going to be a game-by-game basis in terms of how many rebounds he gets. I don't expect massive amounts, but then there'll be some games where he is ripping down balls left, right, and center. He had very good rim protection in this game. 5 blocks, if I'm not mistaken, was in the right places. He's probably the only one I could look at on this team, at least from the forwards perspective. And I sit here and say, wow, that was really good from him. Defensively and offensively. I think he shined in a game like this. Josh Giddey, unbelievable. 25 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. It's a shame that he couldn't really drag us out of the dumps in this game because he played very well, but the team around him was very lackluster. I mean, Okoro only played 10 minutes, but he had 0 points. I wanted to talk about the teammates that he had in this game. Vucevic, I don't know what's going on with Vucevic. 5 points, 4 assists, 10 rebounds. I mean, the 4 assists is nice. Rebounding I expect from him, but he has been absolutely missing in this preseason. And look, Vucevic is the type of guy where, all right, he's having a bad preseason, but he's a veteran. And I expect him to build himself out of this when the games truly matter. And if we don't see that, we may as well buy him out. That's how serious it could be. If he's playing like this in the regular season, we got some serious issues on our hands. It's as simple as that. You know, we had guys like Miller who played 4 minutes, 0 points. Patrick Williams had 9 points, 5 assists, not bad. Asanga had 2 points. Dalen Terry had 11. Aldridge had 6. Javon Carter was 17. But these are all crunched, fourth quarter minutes here where we came back and we're kind of already out of the game. Zach Collins had 11. But again, like a lot of the starting lineup didn't deliver for him. And some of the bench that actually truly played significant minutes didn't deliver for him. So, yeah, it was a bit frustrating. And Josh Giddey probably should feel a little bit hard done by with a game like this because this was easily his best preseason game. And it probably came with our worst loss. So, we'll have to see what happens in that next game against the Timberwolves. I'm hoping for a little bit of a better challenge there. But Io, once again, was solid. 11 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Really, really nice stuff from Io. He's having a great preseason. Consistent as always. I mentioned Patrick Williams. What I think is going to happen with Patrick Williams, right? I think he's solidified his spot as a bench player. And you might say that as a shock, but there are a lot of guys fighting for Patrick Williams' spot specifically. We usually play a very limited rotation. We don't always play a 10-man rotation. So Patrick Williams right now is fighting for a spot to get significant minutes off of this bench. You got guys like, for example, let's just say Ayo Dosunmu, right? He's coming off the bench. Trey Jones coming off the bench. These two guys are guaranteed to get minutes. Zach Collins is coming off the bench. This guy's guaranteed to get minutes. So that's already eight-man rotation. So Patrick Williams is kind of fighting for that 9th spot. And I think he's doing well. He's done really, really well. And it's giving Billy Donovan something to think about maybe extending the rotation or maybe even just extending the minutes of the guys in their rotations, giving starters less minutes and bringing some bench players in. On that bench role, he's done phenomenal so far. He's done all I could really ask from him. And again, it's not superstar quality, but that ship has sailed a long time ago. So I'm impressed with Patrick Williams in his preseason. Dalen Terry had a really nice game, 11 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He's another one that is kind of fighting for that spot with Patrick Williams. What I liked about Dalen Terry is that he did it in multiple ways. But again, I think it really does matter proving it in the regular season with him. It's his last year to really make a difference in the NBA. He could make a roster spot here, but he could also be fighting for another roster spot on a different team. And heck, he may have the Taylor Horton-Tucker effect to be out of the league. Like that, this is a very big season for him in a lot of ways for Dalen Terry. This is a game to set the standard here. Javon Carter comes out with a random 17 points. Again, it always seems to be in the fourth quarter. He just goes crazy. And look, if he could do this in the regular season, if he could have games where he could just come in for 5 minutes and knock down 2 threes, sort of like the Matt Miller effect, if you guys remember him, I'm on board for that. But yeah, I don't see him getting much minutes at all at the NBA level. And then obviously Zach Collins with 11 points, 5 rebounds. He's proven to be, in my opinion, something you got to truly consider whether or not you start this guy. We'll see how Vucevic goes in the regular season. I'm not going to build everything into just this specific game and this specific preseason. Vucevic, again, is a pro, and you expect him to build himself out of it. But if he doesn't, you got serious conversations about starting center and what the heck are you going to do with Nikola Vucevic if he continues to be this out of form. With that being said, my player of the game is going to be Josh Giddey. Matip Zell's played really, really well, but I think Josh Giddey for me stood out a lot. Again, near triple double performance. Did it in more ways than one. He had some solid defensive displays as well. So I think for me, he is my player of the game. We got a game against the Timberwolves tomorrow. I apologize for not recording the video yesterday. I was at a WWE live events in Australia, and I came home at midnight, and my throat was really bad at the time. It's not great now, but you know, I had 2 sleeps, a work day. It's getting there, and tomorrow will be hopefully back to normal fully. Thank you for watching though. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.